Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Peak flow. Like rocket fuel.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damages. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like a rotor.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's the bosses. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit.
From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. That's fielded in the end zone. And they will be backed up deep as they'll have to start the drive from the 6-yard line.
Anytime you field a kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Set, 60 outlaw.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ready.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Ready.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He's coming. We got double up. Shift. Yo, go.
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. Pushes him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure.
Now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now Steven Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down now. It's Lindsay looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Hey, Delta.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kyle Van Noy able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And I don't think Edelman will be able to get to this one. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Hey, exit. Hit it.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. He's got it, the tight end, Jeff Hireman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Lindsey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh. Hey, echo. Go.
Locked to throw on 3rd and 1. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here we go on 4th down with Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position.
Ready, ready. 60 outlaw. Kill, 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 kill.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Here comes the ball. I see you, boy. I see you.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 19-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Here's 2nd and 8. It's complete. James White. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So now on 4th down, on comes Steven Gostkowski to try and get the patch 3. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on that last drive, Whitford on 4th turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll run it. This is Michel. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 76 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
At the 38-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Lock to throw on 2nd down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and now it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a...
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Shedding the tackle. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
16-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Ready?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Five.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
17, got it. Check him out. He's going to sit right over the middle. Watch the middle.
And we'll remind remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Lock throwing on target to Fant. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. Lock going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on fourth down. They do go for it. It's locked. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Deron Harmon, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Going to throw right side here, complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Michel. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Yeah. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Matchbox lights. Hey, zoom in.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown, as his guys continue to pour it on. Gostkowski with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Locke's throw caught by Sutton.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Block off of play action. This is the tight end fan. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. He's got his tight end fan, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll try to run with Lindsey, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Hey, lock it.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Lock now on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by McManus is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And it's Michel once again. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That's good for a Patriots 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. Michel. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Hey, watch it. Slam. Watch it. Pilot, 64.
On 1st down, Michel, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He gets this one to Johnson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Hey, keep it up.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Johnson, the intended target. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, A lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Lock now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Lock now to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 20, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Recon, 132 fighter. Check. Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Michelle. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
New England on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
I got you, punk. Hey, check back. Ready.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
At their own 32-yard line.
Ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing now is Locke. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the ground, Michel. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Double up. He's coming, double up. Watch twist.
Go on.
We got double up. Shift. Check 26.
They'll keep it on the ground. Michel, and nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He's got Jake Butt, his tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish. Just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for New England, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.